Okay, so in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact AI agent setup we use to automate all of our SEO as well as SEO for numerous clients. Now, first things first is, can you actually automate SEO? And people's main concern with this comes with kind of AI generated content. Can you use that to actually rank higher on Google? Now, Google said multiple times that it's going to be clamping down on AI content, but they don't, by their guidelines, kind of say, we're not going to allow it. So as long as it's used properly, and that means not just asking ChatGPT to write a blog about a certain topic, if you have the right infrastructure, you can generate content and you can, I think, very close to fully automate your SEO. That being said, with most things, 100% automation is always going to fail. And where SEO is at the moment is the 80-20. So 80% AI and 20% human. I spend about an hour a week on our SEO and we rank very well for a lot of different search terms, but AI is doing the majority of that heavy lifting. And the kind of set I'm going to walk you through here has 5 different agents. It covers the 3 main principles of SEO, including on-page SEO, off-page SEO, and technical SEO. So we've got an agent which goes ahead, writes content in your voice, researches different ideas, and then the meta agent. So all that kind of boring, annoying stuff when it comes to writing image alt text, meta descriptions, meta titles, H1 headers. This agent takes care of all of that whenever you publish a new page and goes ahead and actually publishes it to your site. Then again, we've got the off-page SEO, which is basically a really clever little tool which goes ahead and identifies potential backlinks, goes ahead and outreaches them and see if we can actually acquire the backlink. Finally, the technical agent, which is just monitoring core web vitals and site speed. The setup is built on N8N and Airtable. Let's go ahead and have a look at how we have built it. Okay, so here is a holistic overview behind basically how these AI agents run. As you can see, we've got different agents handling different things. We've got the content at the top, we've got backlinks, and then we've got most of our on-page and technical stuff at the bottom. We're going to go ahead and break down each workflow individually so you can see exactly how it works and exactly how we've built it. And we're going to go ahead and start with the content agent. Before we get into that, I also want to show you the front end, and this is all set up through Airtable. And what Airtable allows us to do is basically run the automations in a nicer front end, rather than just looking at N8N all the time. So it's all connected up to Airtable, and as you can see, we've got our content strategy here. So content strategy works by pulling in some fresh ideas every Monday, I believe, and is going to kind of give you suggestions for a blog title, for keywords, for the category, for the difficulty, and then you can also use this workflow to go ahead and literally select write, and that will go ahead and start the workflow, which I'm about to show you. So first thing is first is the brand voice analyzer. And I'm just going to go ahead and actually show you what this looks like individually. But essentially we have, it all starts with a form where you're going to input your business name, your business URL, in this case it was for a photographer, your primary niche and your primary service area. Once you've done that, it's going to go ahead and use Firecrawl to scrape your website, scrape your blog pages, and kind of attract as much content as it can. Once it's got those results, it's going to go through to an AI agent and basically uses a prompt to build a brand voice profile. We then update we've got our own table, basically just with your brand voice profile. Obviously, once we've created it, it doesn't need much updating. So that's purely in there to just kind of stay static and make sure we can keep referencing the brand voice profile later down the line. Now, the main engine behind how these blog posts are written is here. And what this is waiting for is an Airtable trigger. So it's waiting for me to go ahead and pick one of these and click, let's see which one we'll pick. Yeah, let's go with this one. Go ahead, click write, and then I'm going to have to trigger this manually because it's just a demo. But you can see the one it will have pulled through is the one I just selected, top choice for family portraits. And then it's going to go through and do the following. Firstly, it's going to search and scrape. So this API call is basically going to search the internet for similar written blog posts. Then we've got an AI agent connected to a Think tool, which is almost like its little notepad, to go ahead and draft a kind of plan. It's going to include kind of H1 headers, SEO information. It's going to use all of this information, so it's really enriched with kind of the results that are already on the internet, what's performing well, and then it's going to go ahead and put it into a plan. The next stage, once it's done that, is actually going ahead and writing the blog. And it's going to write the blog using that research document that we've just drafted, our prompt, which is in the AI agent, and then also our brand voice. And that's how we kind of distinguish on Google from this kind of classic AI written jargon that you see everywhere, and create something that is actually written by our brand and is automated without the usual hassle of creating content. So I can see here that the plan has been drafted. Nice. And then I can also have a look, and in a second we'll see that the full blog post will be written, and then from there we can update the record. We can either go ahead and just push that straight to your CMS, so it just publishes on to your website. Okay, so we can see here we got both the blog post and the plan. And then the final part to this content framework is this, and this is what is generating the ideas for the blog post. So firstly, it's receiving the brand voice data. So all that data we collected about how they write and what style they write in. Then it's going to go ahead and use that to understand what the business is about and research local competitors. So again, another Firecrawl API, where we're essentially looking at competitor sites and what they're writing about. We then go ahead and give that to a large language model, which generates ideas and goes ahead and creates the record. So as you can see, that's those three parts laid out in more detail. We have the idea generator, the brand voice analyzer, and then the thing to actually go ahead, write the plan, and then go ahead and write the actual blog post. Now the second kind of parts I'm going to bundle together, which is kind of a lot of our on-page SEO. So I mentioned the kind of meta bot, and we split that into two sections here, but it is the meta description writer. So whenever you upload a new page or want to improve your meta titles and meta descriptions on the existing page, we can go ahead and it will do that completely automatically. And we've also got image optimization, so writing image alt text, which is, as anyone in SEO will know, an absolute pain to do. So this can go ahead and do it completely automatically. So this kind of handles the bulk of your on-page SEO and the kind of fiddly tasks which you normally need to work out. So we can see how the meta description operates here, and essentially what we're doing is taking the records which have just been updated, and we are extracting the HTML from them. We are then giving that to ChatGPT to create a summary of what that page is about, so it knows basically how to write the meta information. And then we go ahead and basically give it to another AI agent, which is going to go and write the meta title and the meta description. Then we can go ahead and update the record in Airtable. So that one's really nice and simple. Again, super similar with the image alt text. You can basically duplicate these workflows. We're going ahead and scraping the website of any HTML, kind of filtering it this time rather than images. We're looking for the actual, rather than meta information, we're looking for the images. Once we've got those images, we can basically give them through to another AI agent. We can get it to write the meta information and add it as a record in Airtable. Bear in mind, both these processes, when they're finished, will go ahead and publish it directly into your CMS. We normally use Webflow API or WordPress API, but you can almost do it for any kind of web builder that you use. So bear in mind that image optimization, meta description optimization, and content strategy, those two agents or three agents handle a huge bulk of your on-page SEO. And that's the kind of tasks which usually take a very long time, quite tedious, and that has gone ahead and managed basically 90% of your on-page SEO. But the next thing we're going to look at is the technical SEO. And kind of a very important thing anyone would know in SEO when it comes to technical SEO is your page load speed. This was built for a photographer, so it's specifically kind of focused on page load speed. But if you want to kind of look at mobile optimization, you could also bring that in. We have done this by using, so we did this by using a HTTP request to, here it is. Yes, this was really simple, straight to PageSpeed, Google PageSpeed Index. So you can go to Google Cloud, take a look at their APIs. They have a PageSpeed API. We've connected up that, used a quick code function to sort out what it said, and we can just go ahead and we can get those 3 different measurements of page speed, get an overall page speed score, and then upload that into the database. If there's anything that needs changing, obviously this is kind of something that's a bit more technical, we'd have to go and do ourselves. So this would involve basically resizing images, and it just gives us really clear action points on where we need to improve things. And now in terms of off-page SEO, this is probably one of my favorite agents that we've got. And what this does is builds backlinks organically for you. And kind of in SEO, there are 2 main ways you build backlinks. Number 1 can be through going ahead and just buying backlinks, but 2 is through outreach. You either offer to pay someone for a backlink, you do a backlink exchange where you both backlink each other's sites, or you can go ahead and basically suggest a reason why they should give you a backlink. So either outreach or paying for it. And the outreach method works, but it often takes a lot of manual work and people don't have time to do that. So we automated it. If we take a look at how we did it, essentially it works like this. So firstly, we're going to go and find competitor backlinks. So you'll notice here that we've got 2 different types of backlinks. We've got competitor and new. So when a competitor is acquiring a backlink, we're going to go ahead and find that out. It's going to update every Monday, and we're going to list that as a competitor backlink. So if they've just got a backlink, there's an opportunity that we could also get a backlink there. And new is like they found an opportunity, maybe there's a new blog post that's been published, found an opportunity for a new site we could contact in the kind of same field as you, related field, where we could go ahead and ask for a backlink. And what we can do here is once we've got that, we give it to an AI agent and completely automate the outreach. So this involves both finding the email through Hunter and literally creating a personalized email for each prospect. So that's how we completely automate backlink outreach. And then the final agent we've built is used for large language models. So basically it's just a way for us to keep up to date on are we appearing on large language models. And again, this is a super simple workflow. And what this does is it goes ahead and basically scans Claude, Perplexity, ChatGPT and Gemini and double checks kind of who are, in this case, the top 10 photographers in London. It's tracking whether we are appearing under these search results, and if we are, it's going to track if we are, and over time we should be appearing on more. It's going to try out different search queries to see if we're kind of where we're coming up under. In this case, ChatGPT and Perplexity we're appearing under, but Gemini and Claude no. And we can also track the competitors that we are coming from. Obviously, these agents will work together, so kind of over time, the more content that's published, the more backlinks that are built, the more that those agents work, we will see an improvement in large language model rankings. Okay, so hopefully you can replicate most of that and start to automate a lot of your SEO and win back some time. At my agency, this is exactly what we build. So if you're looking for an automation in SEO or something similar, let's talk, because these kind of automations are going to be the future and the engine behind modern businesses. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.